Hello everyone, it's the Canadian Wifier here with a match against my friend Swagglefee, Swagglelift Joseph, however you know him. And before I get into today's game, I had a request the other video, so that was like a week and a half ago, knowing my standards, to make a Twitter fan thing. I hate Twitter, nothing against Twitter, but I mean, silly, unneeded 140 character limit? No. So Facebook page, I don't know when to use Facebook anymore, it's down below. Also, I'm gonna start streaming, hopefully Monday, if it's a snow day where I live, which is a possibility. If not, I have no idea, probably sometime during the week, but maybe not. Anyway, Twitch is also down below. Feel free to go follow that, whatever you do on Twitch. I don't know how to Twitch, but I'll figure that out. Anyway, getting into today's game, it was a stuff tier kind of match, more standard than a standard stuff tier, I guess. I don't know. I told him to bring some stuff, but don't bring like crazy good stuff, because I wanted to try out some Glaceons and some Absols and stuff like that, and it looks really balanced. The games like this are always the hardest to coordinate, because sometimes people will bring too many good things, sometimes people will bring too many bad things. This battle turned out really well. You'll see that as we get in towards the end. Anyway, looking at my team, I have a Specs Polytoad, Belly Jet, a Zoomerl, Specs Glaceon, a Scope Lens, Super Luck, Night Slash, and Psycho Cut Absol. Basically, it's designed to always crit the opponent, and to go with that, I have Physically Defensive Impish Scoilipede with Baton Pass Sword Dance to give it boost, and then I just have Standard Scizor. Looking at his team, there's nothing really too threatening other than the frickin' Charizard. I need to find out whether it's X or Y. If it's Y, I'm pretty screwed. And if it's Charizard X, I'm probably pretty screwed as well. Never thought I'd say this, but Charizard's a giant threat. Anyway, Jasmine, gonna lead off with the Scizor, the Standard Scizor. If a few of you may already know what I'm hinting at by the fact that I slowed that down. You'll see that later if you don't already know. First turn, I'm just going to Mega Evolve. I know that I'm going to get Bulk before he can touch me no matter what, and if he's just going to Fake Out, it's basically a free turn for me to Mega, and that's going to be fantastic. Early Megas are always good, especially when it's just for the bulk, like Scizor or Venusaur, or Blastoise, I suppose. And he does just Fake Out. I know that either a high jump kick or a U-turn is coming. Highly doubt he's going to Stone Edge turn 2 if he even has it. So I know Physically Defensive Scoilipede is going to be able to come in, take basically anything he wants to go for, and he's just going to U-turn out. I see that he's Life Orb, so I'm assuming just Life Orb Regenerator and not Scarf Reckless, although I kind of could have assumed that on the first turn after seeing Life Orb damage on the Fake Out. But whatever, I missed that on the narration. I'm sorry, I didn't actually miss that in game. Which is surprising for me, because I miss all kinds of crap while playing on Wi-Fi. I'm so bad at Wi-Fi. I'm so used to having a nice chat log there to remind me of what I just missed if I'm not paying attention. But I don't have that on Wi-Fi. I've been struggling. Anyway, wow, tangent. He's going to go for the Gyro Ball. I was predicting some Stealth Rock, and maybe I can go into my Polytoad, get off a nice Specs move early on in the game, get some damage going, but he actually goes for the Gyro Ball and not the Stealth Rock, which is absolutely fine by me. I'm going to make a nice aggressive prediction early on, knowing that the Amoonguss is the only thing, well, and the Alomo, oh my goodness, no, we're not playing NU here. Either the Amoonguss or the Melodic is the only thing he wants to take a water move with. I'm assuming the Amoonguss is going to come in, because it's more than likely specially defensive, so I'm going to go for the Ice Beam, nail a nice 65% on that thing, as I'm going to double out into Glaceon on the Rotom Wash. Seeing the Rotom here is terrifying, especially because I'm in the rain. I'm assuming a Hydro Pump's coming my way, and the only thing I have that could even remotely think of taking a Hydro Pump in the rain from this thing is the Polytoad. Unfortunately, he actually goes for the Volt Switch, which is obviously going to do a ton to my Polytoad, basically making it fodder for the rest of the game. And on top of that, he goes out in the Charizard, he Mega Evolves on the next turn, and it reveals to be it a Y. Whatever. He's going to Drought, out comes the Charizard, drives the ball to rain, and then he misses an Air Slash. And that's just fantastic. It's not really part of the rhyme, but yeah, he's going to take a massive hit from the Spec Surf. Even though it's in the sun, it's still going to hurt like hell. And then he decides he makes a misplay here. He even told me it was. That I was obviously doing more than like 50% with a Surf, so he shouldn't have roosted. He should have just, and on top of that, he shouldn't have went for Air Slash. Anyway, he should have just killed me off with a Solar Beam, because Charizard is a massive threat. Much like I can just sweep his entire team with Belly Jet Azumarill, he can sweep my entire team with Charizard. if it was at full health, but because it's not at full health, it won't be able to live. This Aqua Jet incoming from my Citrus Berry Azumarill, unfortunately, because it's Belly Drum, I have Citrus Berry, so it isn't actually that powerful without the Belly Drum, and as you can see, it does basically nothing. That was a crit, in fact, on the Amoonguss, and it does absolutely nothing. So, seeing that the Amoonguss is out, this is an important turn. Looking at my team, I decide that Scizor is probably going to be the best thing to go to sleep, because I have recovery on it for when it wakes up, so it can just recover off any damage that it may have lost while it was asleep. Especially I can still burn sleep turns. I have Bullet Punch for when I wake up. I can wake up early. He Giga Drains, and then looking back at my team like a second time, now that he went for Giga Drain first. So now that he's given me like a reprieval and kind of like a second chance to look at my team, I realized that I would much rather have Squirrelipede asleep. So I'm gonna send out Squirrelipede, take the Spore. Because even asleep, I can still switch in on the Mian Xiao, I can still wall it, I can still switch in on this thing, I can still wall it, and it's not like Squirrelipede was going to be doing too much anyway. I mean, I could pass boosts out to Absol, but it wasn't going to be entirely useful. Predicting him now to go right out into Charizard, seeing that I have a free turn of sleep, I'm going to go right out into Azumarill, and he actually pulls the switch to Steelix, which is interesting. Now predicting the Stealth Rock, once again, I'm going to send out my Scizor, just to be in before rocks, as he goes for the Stealth Rock, getting them up on my side of the field. Now, I have a Glaceon. I'm not really okay with him having Stealth Rock on the field. So, you know what move I'm going to go for, ladies and gentlemen? Do you? The nice Defog. Ladies and gentlemen, I found it. I finally have my hands on it after wanting it since all the way back from February 8th. Almost 10 months I've wanted this Pokemon. Finally able to use it. Finally able to use the Defog, get away those Stealth Rocks off the field, as he's just going to go for the Roar. Brings me out to a Azumarill. I don't really want to take an Earthquake because I know I need a Azumarill at a very high amount of health, otherwise I'm just going to lose to the Charizard. So I'm going to switch out into my Scizor, knowing I could take an Earthquake, a Gyro Ball, whatever he really wanted to go for. I have Roost, of course, and maybe he wanted to set up Stealth Rock again. Basically, no matter what he did, Scizor was my best switch. He actually doubles out into Amoonguss, so the U-turn is about as clickable as anything. It's just the most easily spammable move at this point, and whether he stays in, whether he switches out, I'm going to have some advantage. He switches out, goes into Melodic. I see that as Rocky Helmet, and is going to head out into my Glaceon because I know I can obviously live any hit, and I'm probably going to be able to 2-hit KO it with Shadow Ball, even though Melodic is a crazy special defensive wall. Glaceon's a threat, and unfortunately my threat gets critted. I was having the worst luck. You guys, you will see 2 battles later this week where I have a lot worse luck than this battle, let me just put it that way. But I was getting hacked all night, and that crit right there, it sucked, because I mean, I would have been above half with my Glaceon, still would have been nice and useful, nice and bulky still. Could have came in, taken, probably taken any hit from his team, except maybe the Star Ball, and done some massive damage, but now it's really low. Anyway, Steelix comes out, not going to be able to do that much to it, especially because it probably has 30, so I'm just going to head out into my Scizor. Can obviously take a Gyro Ball, can obviously take an Earthquake. I'm just going to U-turn out on it, because even though he can't do anything to me, I can't really do anything to him, so I'm just going to get this game going. Head out into Azumarill. He actually ends up going for the Stealth Rock that turn, not the Earthquake. I probably could have taken an Earthquake, not too poorly, because Azumarill does have some really nice natural bulk. He's going to be able to get off a Waterfall, do a ton of damage. He actually goes for the Roar, and luckily he doesn't roar me into Glaceon, he rolls me back into my Scizor. So I'm just going to be able to Defog again. He's going to use this opportunity though, of course, to go into his Charizard, because it's really low. He's going to be able to get up the Drought again. He's going to be able to Roost on my switch out, because I can't leave Scizor in against a Charizard. I mean, that's about as obvious as anything, but getting a few turns ahead of myself here. He's going to Roost up. I actually do make the really risky play, knowing that most likely he's going to have to Roost up, because he's too worried about my Azumarill, and because he's going to get rid of his Flying type, and because I'm Mega fucking Scizor, I'm going to be able to get off a decent amount with that U-turn, to the point where it's not going to nullify the Roost, but it's going to take away probably 25-30% of that Roost, and I'm just going to be able to get off another Aqua Jet, and he's going to once again pull the switch. It's a very obvious switch right out into Amoonguss. And once again, I'm going to pull a very obvious switch right back into my Scizor, as he's going to pull a double switch again because he knew I was going to switch out, and he's going to go right back out into his Charizard. And we're at a little bit of a stalemate here with switching because I can't leave this thing on Charizard. I got to go to a Azumarill. I can most likely take any hit. He's probably not going to go for a Solar Beam on a frickin' Scizor. Unfortunately, he crits my Azumarill and brings me down really low to the point where I burn my Citrus Berry, and I'm not able to belly drum for the rest of the game. I'm basically a useless, itemless Azumarill. That's really annoying. Not so much just for the fact that he crit me again, but for the fact that this Azumarill could have completely swept his team once I got off a belly drum, and unfortunately I just straight up can't the rest of the game. I'm literally below half and I won't be able to click the move. So that's pretty damn annoying in my opinion. He's going to sack the Steelix to the waterfall, saving his Charizard for later, and bring in his Mienshao. There's a reason I kept this Scoilipede, and I'm looking at it right now. That thing with the long sleeves is the reason why I kept this Scoilipede alive. And he's going to take the turn to fake out U-turn. He reveals here that he basically doesn't have Stone Edge, because I feel like he should have went for it. If he did have it, Life Orb Stone Edge probably would have 2 KO'd. Maybe he was scared of me waking up, but there's not really much I could do to him. I'm mono attacking with Mega Horn. There was my first chance of waking up. I clicked the Baton Pass just in case I could get the hell out of here, wake up, be free, be fresh. I actually leave it in a second time because I know I'll be faster now. Maybe I can Baton Pass out. Unfortunately, I don't. Luckily, he doesn't roost. He actually just goes straight for the Fire Blast to kill me off. I do still have Absol alive with the Sucker Punch, so even if he did roost, I wouldn't have been completely screwed, but I would have been pretty damn screwed. This turn, the last 2 times, he has switched immediately out into a Mungus, and this time, it's always 3rd time's the charm. I didn't know whether to actually double into Absol on his Charizard right away, predicting the Mungus to come in. I decided to just keep playing it safe because Charizard's a massive threat, and it pays off. He does leave it in predicting my Amoonguss, or predicting my Absol, predicting his Amoonguss. Here's basically me sacking my Azumarill to a Power-Up Punch Mienshao. It turns out he doesn't have Stone Edge. His last move is Power-Up Punch. Perfectly fine. After Life Orb damage, he's at a range where I can easily come in with Absol and kill him off with a Sucker Punch. I need to go for it because I really have nothing else for this Mienshao. Obviously I have Scizor with Bullet Punch, but if I leave it down to just Scizor and my Absol ends up dying, I'm going to lose. So I really had to play it safe there, go for the Sucker Punch. Unfortunately, he does end up switching out. I get off the Night Slash, get the crit. As long as I don't get burned, I still win, but I get burned, ladies and gentlemen. Get burned in the hacks department is right 3 times in this game. It's absolutely fine, though. Like I said, this is actually one of the less hacksy games I had the other day, so yeah. Unfortunately, burn doesn't negate, or crits don't negate burn damage, so I'm not going to be able to kill him off. He's just going to be able to rest up with his Melodic as my Absol dies, and all I'm left with is a Glaceon at very low health and a Scizor. And obviously I'm not going to be able to get past his remaining wall core of a Amoonguss Melodic with a low health Glaceon and a Scizor. I do end up getting the special defense drop on the Amoonguss, so maybe possibly with a crit Shadow Ball here I could actually pull it out, but spoilers, I don't get it. So he's going to be able to kill me off with a Giga Drain, and obviously Melodic can just wall my Scizor and kill me off with the Rocky Helmet damage. I'm not going to try to stall this one out with Roost and make it last 50,000 turns, because this was already a really long battle. Thank you, Swagglefy, though, for the awesome game. He's actually going to sack his Amoonguss and sack his Mienshao to a Bullet Punch. He tried to, maybe he could live after the, that's what his thoughts were. Maybe he could live a Bullet Punch after the regeneration and kill me off with a high jump kick, but neither of those happened. He wouldn't have killed me off with a high jump kick. He was just trying to speed up the game. Absolutely understandable, but I'm not going to be able to get past this Melodic, and I'm not going to try to get past this Melodic because I know I'm not going to be able to. He has 16 rests and I only have 10 roosts. So, it's a good game. Thank you very much for it. I have more coming this week. I guess this week is already over. I mean, it's Saturday, Sunday's tomorrow, but that's what you get for not uploading during the Christmas holidays. Weeks just fly by. You don't even know what day it is most of the time. I do have, wow, rambles. I do have 2 more games for you guys backed up, and possibly more on the way. I do have a crap ton of Pokemon. I basically have 2 boxes full at this point of Pokemon that I can use. So, like I said, stream coming sometime soon. Hopefully, when I finally have free time and I figure out how to do it, I will absolutely be streaming, and you're free to come and challenge me, and I can actually get some battles to upload, and that'll be great because Showdown is a little bit crappy right now, and I haven't really been playing on it in forever. I will always use Showdown, but only to build teams. I'm horrible at building teams on the fly in my PC. They always have huge glaring weaknesses or giant holes or missing certain things. If I build a team on Showdown and I create it on my game, obviously it works fine. So most likely gonna keep using Showdown as for the team builder. Most likely not gonna keep using Showdown as often for the battling. Obviously I'll post a few Showdown labs here and there, but with Wi-Fi and finally having access to Wi-Fi, the TheCanadianWifier can finally actually post Wi-Fi battles and not be the Canadian Showdowner, which is exciting for me, at least. Bring you guys higher quality content, in my opinion. Anyway, one more thing I wanted to add on to the end of this. Do you notice that Scizor, at the start of this battle, was in a netball? I actually got, with the help from my friend Andy, I'm not going to leave him out of this, he found a guy who was willing to trade Defog Scyther, and I messaged him and I ended up getting one. I bred it into a netball. Everyone that I've given a Scyther to so far with Defog, it's always been a female in a netball. So if you see another YouTuber uploading with the Defog Scizor, take a quick look at the Pokeball, because if it's a netball, there's a really good chance that it came from yours truly. Anyway, that's a little bit of custom flair that I threw on there. Keep an eye out for that. Speaking of Defog Scyther, I have boxes upon boxes of the damn things because of how long and how finicky that thing is to breed. For some reason, they just did not want to come out perfect at all. So I have like an ample amount of Defog Scyther, and if anyone would be interested in owning their own before Pokebank comes out, contact me on Skype. Skype name is on the screen. Hands down the easiest way to contact me or get in contact with me. Ever since YouTube completely screwed up the PM system, I don't even know where the PMs go anymore, and if we tried to do it in the comments, it would get really messy and there'd be a ton of comments and it'd be all convoluted. Like I said, easiest way, just add me on Skype. We'll pick out a time, we'll find a time, and you can have your own Defog Scyther today. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Oh my goodness, this was a long game, very ramble intensive. I'm very sorry for that. I hope you all enjoyed somehow, and I thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Take it easy. Have a good day. See you later. Peace.